Spurgeon here with RevZilla to break down the 100% goggle line at RevZilla.com. There's three different main types of families when you're looking at 100% goggles, and it can get a bit confusing as to what you're getting with each one. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to break down exactly what you can expect, starting with the Stratas, moving to the Accurays, and then finishing out with the Racecrafts. Now, the one thing I want to talk about before we go anywhere further is the commonality that's shared between all three families of goggles here. And that's going to be the lens. It's going to be a scratch-resistant Lexan lens that you're going to see that will fit any of these goggles. So depending on, no matter which one you pick, you're getting that same lens. And with each of these goggles, you can choose between the clear or the mirrored. Now, you're typically going to see about a $10 price bump between the mirrored or the clear lens. But the reason is, if you go with the mirrored, you're going to pay a little bit more up front, but what you actually get is you get a clear lens included with that. So if you go with the mirrored version, it comes with the mirrored lens already installed, but then what you're going to see is you have a clear lens with a lens bag included in the box. So that is going to be a little bit of a value add, considering the lenses come in around the $15-ish price point, depending on which lens you want to replace it with. But remember, any lens within this line will be interchangeable. Now let's start with the Strata on my right-hand side and break down really what you're getting. So I called this out around the $25 price point. And that's if you go with just the basic Strata that's going to have the clear lens associated with this. Now the one thing you'll note is that this is going to be your bare bones. It uses a different plastic for the frame. It's not quite as nice as what we're going to see with the other two when we break those down. And then the foam on this is going to be a single density foam. You still have the felt line to this, so it's still going to be comfortable against your face, but it's just a single density foam. It's not quite as firm, so it feels a little bit loose at times. And you're not getting the same amount of ventilation to the goggles themselves. You notice at the bottom here, while it doesn't look like much if you're just looking at this as a standalone, there's no cutouts here at the bottom to help vent the goggles, so you have a better chance of it fogging up on you, and you're just not getting that same amount of airflow inside the goggles. The other thing you'll note is that there is going to be one of these that comes in around the $55 price point. Now, at the $55 price point, what that's going to give you is a mud version of the goggle, and what that does is it allows you to run a clear piece of film over top, which will allow you to clean that on a regular basis. This is going to be good for those of you out there riding enduro-style races where you need constant, cleaning of the goggles and you don't want to use the tear-off posts, or the tear-off strips rather. So if you like that idea, but you don't want to go with the bare bones, you could also consider the Forecast. Now the Forecast is going to be an accessory, and it actually works a little bit nicer than what we're seeing with the mud version of that. And this is interchangeable the same way the lenses are with any of the goggles that you're going to see on the table. And this is simply an accessory which gives you that same amount of functionality if you are riding in enduro situations. Now the final note that's going to be different from the Strata as opposed to the Accurays as well as the Racecraft is the strap on this. This strap is only going to be a 40mm strap, and it's not going to be nearly as nice as what we're seeing when we step up to the other two. The other two kind of give you more of a cloth type feel with the logo kind of embroidered in. This is just going to be a screened logo on an elasticated band. It's not nearly as sophisticated as what we're seeing in the higher end goggles. But again, you're still getting that silicone bead. It's still going to sit in place. It's just not going to give you the same quality feel that you get when you bump up to something like the Accurays. Now, this is probably the best, bang for your buck when you're considering both options. The main difference that you're going to see from the Accurays to stepping up from the Racecraft is the frame is going to be structured a little bit differently. The Accurays is going to give you a blend of comfort while still being more secure against your face than what we're seeing with the Stratas. Now the biggest bump you'll notice, the frame's a little bit different. You're definitely getting more ventilation. You're also going to now bump to a dual density foam. So that dual density foam helps with adding comfort while also giving you more pressure on your face so the goggle feels like it stays in place a little bit more. You do have that felt lining for the comfort. And you're going to see this is going to have the mirrored lens, so you can see the mirrored lens as it looks with this. And like I said, with the sophistication of the actual frame, now you're going to see some of that art design kind of worked in here. So you have this checkered pattern, which is actually going to be part of the color of the frame itself. So you do step up not only in the frame, but now you're also going to step up in the actual strap. So you're going to notice that there's going to be asymmetry coming into play. The frame design is going to work into the same logo as it works its way back on the strap. That 100% in high vis is going to be asymmetrical. So if we pop over to this side, you're going to notice that now this is a black strap on this side, and the high vis for the 100% and the blue has changed. So really what you get is a wide variety of color options. And one thing about 100% is those color options change pretty much every year to a year and a half. So you're constantly getting new colors thrown into the mix. So if there's a color you see that you like, make sure you grab it, because chances are that color might not be here in a year. Now the other thing you'll note And those channel cutouts that we saw on the Stratas, this is going to be an actual cutout that's going to help to promote ventilation down through. It's not going to be as sophisticated as the ventilation that we're going to see on the racecrafts, but it's definitely going to be a step up over in ventilation from what we're seeing with the Stratas. Like I said, around the $45 price point if you're just looking at the base clear lens. You bump up to around the $60 price point if you go to the mirrored. Now there's also a few different versions of the Curry that's not going to be seen mirrored in either of these other lines. There's going to be an Enduro version, which is going to have a dual pane lens. There's a Snow version, which actually has a dual density foam, as well as a dual pane lens. There's a Sand version, which has a really thick density foam to keep sand from coming in. And there's an OTG version, which stands for over the glasses. So if you're someone that likes to wear, or that needs to wear eyeglasses and you need a goggle that fits over top, the Curry actually has an OTG version available for you, which will allow you to just simply fit that over the glasses with comfort. Now between both of these are both going to share a larger strap. So you're now bumping to a 45mm strap with the Currys as well as the Racecraft over top of what you're getting with the Strata. And again, like I said, it's more sophisticated in its design. And now really what you're going to see first and foremost when you step up to the Racecraft is they have these outriggers. And these outriggers are simply going to allow you to have tear-off posts on the lenses, which you're going to see across the board through all of these. But whereas on the Strata and the Curry, the tear-off post mount is going to be on the strap, you're now going to have the tear-off post mount on the outrigger. So it's going to stay in place a little bit more secure for you. And you're getting tear-off strips included with the Racecraft. You get 10 tear-off strips where you're not getting any of those. You have to buy them separately if you're looking at something like the Curry or the Strata. The other thing you'll note is the removable nose bridge. Now this is going to be removable, and for a lot of riders out there, it's really going to depend on the helmets you're using. For my showy dirt helmet, I have to pull this out to get it to comfortably fit. But if you don't have a nose bridge already in place in your helmet, you can use that, which just gives you a little bit of extra hard protection. Now, when we pull that off, you'll notice the frame actually works a little bit differently on these, and you're getting direct venting right into the goggle lens. So this is going to promote the most amount of venting compared to the Currys as well as the Stratas. The one thing I'll notice when I bumped to using these off-road, in rainy situations, I'm actually getting more water pooling up on the inside of the goggles than I was with the Currys. So while that venting is going to be great in hot weather to help moisture wick away, as well as promoting a lot of airflow inside the goggles, in extreme rainy or wet situations, you can actually have water build in the goggles easier than you would with the Currys. But really what you're getting with 100% is a full family of goggles to really choose from. So whether you're just starting out, and you're just looking for something to romp around in the backyard, or maybe you're looking for something that's going to work for dual sports or adventure bikes, or maybe you have a real specific, enduro, snow, or sand use, that's really where the Curry gives you the step up. And then if you want to go full-on race style, the Racecraft is going to give you all the extra protection, and this is going to give you the most secure fit against your face. And remember, all the lenses are completely interchangeable. So regardless of which lens you want to go for, all the lenses can be swapped in and out of these goggles, and you can mix and match what mirrored colors you want to go with. So you can really kind of fine-tune the graphics as well as the colors of the style you want to look at. Now, I am someone that have been using these for about 3 years now. I'm a huge fan of 100%. They are my go-to goggles. I've got multiple pairs of the Currys as well as a good brand new pair of the Racecrafts, and they're going to be very functional. There's a lot of other folks out there using 100% goggles as well, and if you want to hear more about what those folks have to say, you can click the info button on your desktop or mobile device, which will allow you to read other rider reviews from folks that are already putting 100% goggles through their paces. If you have more questions from one of our gear geeks as to which pair of goggles is right for you and which one's going to work best with your helmet, you can always give them a shout, 877-792-9455, or simply shoot over an email to cs@revzilla.com. Thank you for joining us for this look at 100% goggles. I'm Spurge. Enjoy the ride.